Nigeria and all the political development that have been like happening, and why 2026 is like everybody now will drop the veil, the pretense, and they'll begin to do what they call the alignment. So they'll begin to align, sort themselves into probably two prominent groups, right? The one for Tifnumbu, the APC, and then others, however they plan to take it, okay? But to the Tifnumbu's men, their own job is not going to be on the election day or what have you. Their own kind of a groundwork is to have been able to predetermine the end, the end result before the election day or so. So part of their own strategy, which is already playing out so far, is one, neutralize the opposition as much as possible, and then, begin to poach the supposed opposition state governors, which they have succeeded. And that in itself seems to have been creating its own different scenario, okay? And one of them is this of Kano State. So in 2023, Kwankwaso, who is the leader of the supposed Kwankwansias in Kano, formed his own, should I say, kind of merged with a political party called ANPP, and he automatically became their leader, the leader of the ANPP. Sorry, one sec. I need to take something out. Yeah. Sorry about that, just in case if... very sorry about that, by the way, because I've not been reading the comments. I want to make sure that we are not having any sort of like echoey, conversation. So Kwankwaso ran for president, and at the same time, he presented a governorship candidate in Kano. Meanwhile, for those who know the politics of Kano very well, Kwankwaso, since 1999, right? McCarthy, Kwankwaso, and the rest of them like that. So you will remember that the Babariga mobile banking CEO of Kano, and that is a Gandola. Gandola was once a Kwankwaso's deputy, by the way. And then, politically, they are on the opposite side. So Kwankwaso, right, believes that if, for anything, right, APC, because of this Gandola, should never be allowed to take over Kano. Now, on that sort of like a mandate, he met with Kolu, whatever the offer was, speculations, right? So when Kwankwaso met with Kolu, it was presented the same offer. Why don't you bring your governor to APC and then name your price? So part of what he was allegedly to have asked from Kolu at the time was that he would love to become the APC chairman if they are going to remove a Gandola. Anyway, that didn't work out. In the process, their governor in Kano himself is also being poached by these guys. They're like wrapping him up to say 2027 election is not going to be just about votes. It is going to be decided by, and it doesn't really matter. He's very much interested in some certain states, including Kano. So Kwankwaso can save you. So they were hearing the rumors that, APC was about to take their governor. So they started making different threats, including the ones that seem to have been, the one that finally confirmed it on the 3rd of January, when Kwankwaso told his followers that indeed, he never believed that his own governor would actually accept Tifnubu's deal, right? However, it seems like it's a done deal. So they would have to do whatever they can, right, to ensure that APC does not take Kano. Now, the backstory to all of this is what you are now about to get into. So the rumor is no longer rumors. It is actually now real. Kwankwaso and his own people, right, are enraged because if you have been following the Kano politics, right, this one seemed like a kick in the gut. So Kwankwaso, so they anticipate there could be violence. So because of this, in Kano today, Tifnubu's government, of course, have provided the security to protect the government house in Kano. So in the next few days, this is going to happen. Kano State is going to become APC. And when Kwankwaso was talking to his supporters in January, one of his regrets was that he never believed Abba Yusuf, right, would actually really dump them for APC. Meanwhile, Abba Yusuf himself was kind of like telling his own supporters that everywhere Kwankwaso goes, he's always telling everybody how he controls him, he decides what happened in Kano State and all of that by belittling him. Okay, so internal Godfather's strife. So let's start with that. I decided to kind of break it down that way because most of us who don't understand Hausa, you needed that. Okay, so let's start with what Kwankwaso told his own supporters until today. The tension seemed to have kind of like arisen more. First, he said they fought tooth and nail to prevent Gandola from, controlling Kano politics, right? And that is something that Abba Yusuf has kind of like willingly handed over to Tifnubu. How did that happen? We'll find out.
Yara suna ta faɗan maganganu suna ziga sun ɗauki layi irin wancan kuma fiye da wannan. Abinda muke so na nake so gaya mu ku je ku ci gaba da da kamar da kuke karantawa ne ma na karanta gobe ne ko ran litinin za a yi kamfe shi sa na tsaya nan gida muke ta addu'a. Yanzu an ce an daga nima na gani wannan so ba ku assignment ina so ku ba ku assignment din shi ne na farko mu ci gaba da musu addu'a na biyu idan da wanda suke magana da su gaya musu kar su ci gaba da wannan tsari nasu wanda in sun yi wuce ranar Kwankwaso ya ce sai an zo an ce gara ma Ganduje duk da lalacewa Ganduje. Saboda haka har yanzu ba a yi ba, har yanzu muna sa rai su sami hankali ya shiga cikinsu su gane nan ne inda ake son su gane cewar akwai hakkinmu a kansu ba abu mai ciwo da ya wuce wannan tsari da gwamnati da muka taba a ce a ɗauke akushin da baki ɗaya a kai wa gidan Ganduje. Wannan abu ne wanda yake na ina ganin
all that they suffered and all of that. So the state is now handed over to Tifnubu without casting a single vote. So it's like a kick in the gut. So godfathers are now taking the heat. As much as the majority of them were like members of the establishment in this sense, right? Those who are in the PDP, they have their own kind of like their own destiny carved for them by this same Kolu and his own agents. So now to the smaller ones like Kano, Abia, the others like that, they just have to come and join APC because your 2027 election is going to be they're going to make it between the South versus the North. So in that sense, right, it's going to be like only those of you who joined, they will say, forget about party. All those of you who joined Tifnubu in 2027 will be considered as patriots. And those who are in the opposition against Tifnubu will be considered as unpatriotic ones. There'll be plastered names, enemies of Nigeria, enemy of the people, enemy of this and that, the blah, the blah. So they're framing it like that, like, you know. So Kwankwaso is just collecting his own. So now he is going to possibly end up in the coalition where he is going to have almost nothing to negotiate with. But yeah, to him, he said when he finally confirmed that indeed Uba Yusuf is going to the APC, instead of them to be preparing for 2027, right? Right now, they are not going to be together, right? He said it felt like dreaming, that it felt like a dream.
Saboda irin abubuwan da suke faruwa na mamaki, na al'ajabi, na ban haushi, wannan abubuwan da suke faruwa a Kano wasu ma ba sa yarda. Ni ma ina ta ƙoƙarin ya kasance har yanzu bacci nake da farka ga magana ba haka take ba. Kuna da kai oga.
Yeah, he even said those who were asking him to come and join APC. This was like about a week ago when he was making all these, declarations. So he said those who were asking him to come and join APC, why didn't they tell him to resign and leave their own mandate for them in ANPP? Kwankwaso.
Amma da yake Abuja bai sani ba. Ina ganin yan majalisar mu. Duk da su ake shan wahala ga wannan gwamnati. Wasu ma ta kan wannan wurin suka taka suka je can. Amma da yawa su kutsarai kafa su sun sha ruwan Abuja. Sun sha iskar fulawa ta Abuja. Sun sake mota. Sun sake gida. Sun sake hada mata.
And the governor himself was kind of like caught on camera a few months back, stylishly lamenting about the statements made by Kwankwaso in one of their gatherings, referring to him more or less like he's just a stooge. He didn't call him a stooge, right? He was like, he is the leader. He will determine what happens inside that government. A statement that Abba Yusuf considered as condescending. So, but anyway, he played along until this week.
Akwai lokaci da mai girma yake magana a hall yake cewa su ma za mu zuba musu ido idan sun nemi shawara za mu ba su ma in ba su nema ba to za mu koma gefe har Abuja na bishi. Nisran kai da ban ji daɗin wannan magana ba. Saboda mu idan akwai masoyanka masu maka biyayya ba 100 ba ku ƙara 200% mu ne masu wannan biyayya. Saboda haka muna gode muku, muna ƙara gode muku, kuma kamar yadda ya faɗa yin Allah yadda za mu yi aiki tare domin ci gaban Najeriya da ko kuma ci gaban Kano da Najeriya baki ɗaya. Na gode.
I mean, he's 200% in charge. It's nobody's to cheat. Yes, the little, interpretation I can give to you, but there are others who understands the Hausa very well. Read the comments. So in all of this back and forth, in the last 1 week or probably in the last a few months, this is 2026. Majority of them are now more or less interested in politics. Those who want to put in their own stooges to replace them when they finish their own 8 years. And those who want to go and do their own second term, everybody is now, building or setting the stage. It's not going to be about governance anymore. Sorry. But yeah, they can still keep pushing the propaganda, the lies, because all of that is going to become factors that they believe will determine what's going to happen before the end of the year. Kano, we found him, is now in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, UAE. We're going to come to that. But back in Kano, in what is believed, we've seen, I've seen videos, these short videos from different sources in Kano, printing different souvenirs, like a shirt, a branded shirt, branded this, branded that, banners and all of that with the face of Tifnumbu and Abba Yusuf, and boldly the logo of APC, Egbekegbe. So this morning, the people of Kano Metropolis, especially around the government house, noticed the movement of a lot of security men, police, DSS and the rest of them, providing kind of like a, security, a special security provided all around the government house. It was captured on camera. I'll show you.
Shi wuce ake dama ya ja zama da mu je kai ba zan tura musu Yes. Yeah. Go share it together.
No, wahala muna go.
Sorry about that. So, people have been decamping, if you ask. If you have been following all over the place, we've had the Enugu governor left PDP to go and join Tifnumbu. You added the Plateau State governor. You have the Taraba governor. You have the Adamawa governor. You have the Bayelsa governor. Who else? Please remind me. They all left without drama. Why is that of Kano different? Well, we are about to find out. For those of you who possibly can still remember, when the tribunal, governorship tribunal, ruled in favor of the ANPP, then the Court of Appeal ruled in favor of the APC. If you witness those periods, it got to a point where they had to actually move the court sitting, one of the court sittings for the governorship here, sort of litigation at the time. They had to move it away from Kano for the safety of the judges, because this Kano like politics is like how people support their football clubs, right? And I'm talking about something that is even more sort of like deeper than that. They are willing to die. There are many of them, and yeah. So maybe that is why they have to provide this much security. Armored personnel carriers, APC, and all of that, simply because the governor